and welcome to the program. Ukraine's President Petro Poroshenko is in Germany for a 2-day visit. His diplomatic schedule involves meetings with the President of the European Council Donald Tusk, German Chancellor Angela Merkel, and French President Emmanuel Macron. Joining us in the studio to discuss the outcome of this visit is Yevheniy Yaroshenko, Democracy House think tank expert. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for inviting.
So, for the viewers to understand, what are the key topics of this visit and these meetings?
Generally, the key was not Poroshenko's visit to Aachen. The key was ceremony of nomination of Charlemagne Prize, which was awarded this year to Emmanuel Macron following his vision on reforming the European Union. It is considered as an important contribution to unifying European continent. However, Poroshenko decided to visit, and he was invited as an opportunity for him to meet with both French President and German Chancellor and to discuss recent developments around Donbas conflict resolution. Namely, it was important to raise the question of a possible UN peacekeeping mission, as the Normandy 4 countries have been recently sidelined by bilateral diplomatic track and shuttle diplomacy by Kurt Volker. That's why it was important for Ukrainian president to discuss and try to form a common position between the 3 countries of the Normandy group before Russia joins further talks.
Yeah, but that's interesting that you raise this. Is it a new kind of Normandy format? Because the Normandy format implies Russia. Why wouldn't be Russia here for this kind of talks?
Well, yes, though this meeting was described as a Normandy meeting, however, Vladimir Putin was not there. There were 2 possible reasons why Vladimir Putin was not invited. First one, it's namely a result of recent tensions between the West and Moscow over a chemical attack on Skripal in Salisbury. That's why, given such a negative informational and political background, it was decided not to invite Vladimir Putin. Of course, developments in Syria, when US and French and British forces launched airstrikes, it's also contributed to this negative atmosphere. And the second explanation is that it was primarily Charlemagne nomination for persons who contributed to European Union. It was obvious that to invite Russian president, it was not common for such summits.
You mean that on a European Union prize ceremony wouldn't be
yes, because many European European leaders would not welcome this move, because many European countries fear of Russian military activities on the continent, and Russia has many influence on Europe, but Russia, unlike Ukraine, doesn't have any European intentions.
Now, as you said earlier, Mr. Poroshenko came for this Charlemagne Prize given for Emmanuel Macron. Does it mean that Ukraine is going towards possibly a full European membership here? Is that what kind of message does it send?
Well, though Ukrainian president was invited at a very important European cultural event, it does not signal that the European Union in general and major European powers are ready to open their door for Ukrainian membership. Namely, France and Germany are among principal countries that are not interested in Ukraine full-fledged integration into the European Union for many economic and political and security reasons. However, they both consider Ukraine as a part of European neighborhood and a country where the European Union has enough leverages, mainly by using soft power, by spreading European values, European standards on its neighborhood in order to promote security and stability around EU external borders.
Now, for more technical details, recently there has been controversy around the Nord Stream project. Germany approved potentially this project, and Mr. Poroshenko had harsh word against Germany for this point. Will that subject be evoked in the meetings? Is it scheduled? Is it not? And how will it develop, according to you?
Well, I guess Petro Poroshenko directly or indirectly mentioned the Nord Stream 2 pipeline. However, it was far from a principal agenda during trilateral meetings. And currently, even if Poroshenko raised this issue, it is unlikely to be efficient, given that the United States, one of the principal rivals of Nord Stream 2 project, now is at odds with Germany, France and other European countries when Donald Trump decided to withdraw from Iran nuclear deal. That's why, given decreasing trust between both sides of Atlantic Ocean, now raising Nord Stream 2 on agenda is hardly doable.
Now, a summit between the EU and Ukraine has been scheduled for this summer. What can Ukraine expect from this summit?
Well, I believe the expectation won't be high. As Ukraine enters pre-election period, it means that any ambitious reform agenda is unlikely, because there are many political risks for any ambitious reform. It is likely that the summit will conclude in some kind of declaration. It means that Ukraine has made certain progress, but there are some areas where Ukraine has to improve, especially further reform progress, especially fight against corruption. A rather doable outcome is that Ukraine can receive some small-scale financial assistance on reform, but any drastic breakthrough is unlikely.
Well, thank you for this overview. It was a pleasure to have you in the studio today.
Thank you.
That was Yevheniy Yaroshenko, the Democracy House think tank expert. Thank you for watching the program. Stay tuned for the rest.